If you are a mystical or spiritual person, or have an inkling of that inside of you, then we have something in common. Come forth then and know me better, man. Welcome to Starry Manifestations. I am Eve, a metaphysical artist and spiritual creator focusing on symbol creation, contemplation, and manifestation. I am here to guide you on your journey to unlock your inner knowing through spiritual art therapy. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you some details on my metaphysical journey so far and what led me to creating Starry Manifestations. So grab a tea or coffee and come join me. My initiation into the mystical realm came gradually. I grew up in a religious family, and in my early teens when someone close to me left the religion, essentially over time I eventually came to realize that it was okay to think for myself. This led to many experiences and times of pondering, and one thing that came to be as a result is that I transitioned genders at age 18, and I'm 25 now. So I was born female and transitioned to male at age 18, and then at age 23 or so, I started to retransition into being female Eve. So that is one part of my story to know about me that came from me starting to have this more open nature to thought and understanding. The details of that I will save for another video, perhaps. As far as when my mystical mindset began, I had always had inklings of it in the back of my mind, and it appeared in my life in different ways perhaps, but I still didn't feel much on a conscious level of truly connecting with the universe. I guess you could say it has been a challenge I'm still working on, tapping into my inner pineal gland, if you know what I'm saying. But my quest solidly began around the time that I transitioned genders for the first time. At about that time, I had read many tales from certain shaman stories about those who have experienced transcendental states of consciousness, if not superconsciousness itself. But that, some Carl Jung reading, and some minor study of ancient civilizations were my only real exposure to the metaphysical realm. Then I went to a metaphysical bookstore about 3 years ago. I came across this big book on Patrick Valenza's tarot deck, Deviant Moon Tarot. It was a changing moment. I studied the original modern tarot deck, the Smith Rider-Waite deck, alongside this totally incredible, mind-blowing deck that is Deviant Moon, and with the compare and contrast, I was thrust into this esoteric, mystical, subconscious tapping realm that is tarot and oracle cards. This led me to study further about other metaphysical mediums, tools, and ways of thinking and shifting perspective. And gradually, as I have been learning about what the fabric of the universe may very mystically be, I have been ever trying to integrate it into how I process and live my life and how I perceive things. One fundamental metaphysical principle is the understanding that thought and emotion affect matter. Now, that doesn't mean that you say bippity-boppity-boo and something suddenly happens. But it means that the perspective that we hold and how we stand on those views and react to the situations around and within us have an effect on the world around us and certainly the world within us. This concept, which appears in all sorts of different references and forms in metaphysics, led me to discover the tool of sigils. If you want a little introduction to sigils, how they were originally made, and their history, please watch my video, Sigils, A Brief History and Starry Manifestations. Here I will go a little more in depth, talking about how I came to learn about and through them. So sigils. A sigil is a symbol you can use or create that holds some type of power. This can mean many things, but to me means simply it holds meaning, or perhaps energy through that meaning. It's quite the idea to introduce oneself to, that you can affect the ever-changing and ever-unfolding world with something like a symbol. It calls your creativity forth to be able to create within this intriguing paradigm. For me, I mix an unknown ratio of conscious and subconscious references from my mind and heart and create these detailed sigils you see here. So whether it's a shape that flashes in my mind, or a concept or a verse of words I'm trying to translate through image, it all plays a part in creating these pieces and the energy you connect with when peering into them. But why and how are these particular symbols used? Here in these symbols, I create to offer an opportunity and guidance for perspective shifting. I can't tell you exactly how things will happen in your life, or that something very specific will come to fruition in a certain way, but I can help you reflect and tap into your own mind and heart, therein walking the path to discover how to cultivate the essence of what you want to manifest, focus on, or evolve. How, you ask? By applying what I like to call a Jungian mindset to something like an archetypal image or abstract image. When we look and then observe the subtleties of our subconscious reactions, thoughts, and feelings, we can piece together, or perhaps simply inherently understand, what it is that our inner self is trying to communicate and share with ourselves. This is the act of activating our gnosis, as it is called. That's Gnosis, for those of you who don't know. Gnosis is the inner knowing of spiritual mysteries, and it is the door to what I like to call expanded consciousness. Once I solidly created a number of sigils confidently and had processed all of these things I am sharing with you, I decided to start Starry Manifestations. Here I want to share with you the power of perspective shifting to help guide us through the rocky times and help us enjoy the good times. So that is a trip down a metaphysical lane. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be uploading more videos soon on mystical perspectives, tales of life, and creative creation, so stay tuned. In the meantime, today's comment question is, what led you to metaphysics, and do you think about it often or rarely? Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Please do also check me out on my store on Etsy, and also Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Thanks so much for your time, and see you at the next one. Blessings to all.